Okay, so welcome to issue 41. The first thing we'll do, as per usual, is just check the parts. And we are expecting, if I can just get these off, part number 1 will be a black ring called a dorsal turret ring. There we go. It's actually grey, it looks black in the magazine. We have got a dorsal turret well left and a dorsal turret well right. At this point I can't tell the difference between the left and the right. I think this is number 2 the left and this is number 3 the right, judging by this detail here, but as always things will become clear as we put them together. Now these are a hard plastic, good quality actually. Piece number 4 is the turret well light LED. You can see there's a little LED and there's a plug there. Piece 5, 6, 7 and 8 actually are stickers. Instrument stickers, left lower, left upper, right lower, right upper, and there seems to only be 3. 1, oh there's 4, there we go. So it looks like this one is 5, the left lower. Let me bring my camera in just a little bit. So this one with a red bottom facing, that's number 6, that's number 7, and that's number, do you know, I might have those the wrong way round. Yeah, I think they're the right way round. These two are definitely correct. This one, it depends on the slant. Number 9 and number 10, you've got 4 magnets. And I'm looking forward to this because I've seen how magnets work before. And 10 are steel pins times 4, which you may not be able to see there, but I can see that is correct. Piece 11 is a landing gear cover plate, port forward and port center. Port forward, center forward. That's these two. This looks like 11, this looks like 12. And this is hull plating BP15. And it says BP15 there. And that's the parts, all present and correct. Okay, so we need the sprue that we got from issue 40. That's this sprue here. Let's see if that's like without the light. Actually, it probably works better without that additional light on. So what we need to do is we need to get the glue. Trouble is I can't see now. Right, so we need to get the seat, which is the piece down the bottom. It does explain in the magazine exactly where everything is on the sprues. So they're actually very well done. You know, I'm sorry, I am actually going to put the light on. The problem I've got with the lighting is that either you can see well or I can see well, and if I can't see well, obviously I can't do the part work, can I? So I've cut those off and I've just tidied them up, and we need to get that in the right orientation. And right, okay, so this piece is going to go on like so. Now, I'm not sure about the plastic glues. Some glues work better with others. So I'm going to pop this onto this. And I'm going to see if it works okay. I've sort of looked at the piece and I've seen that where the glue is going to stick. And I feel that it's being glued in a part that won't be seen very well. So if it doesn't work too well, we can cover that up. But we always say test fit it. Do a patch test. Sorry, that's what the expression I was looking for. So what I'll do is I'll just leave that for a moment or two while we get some more parts ready. So the next part will be the seat back, which is this one there. And that's going to go onto there. So we've got ourselves a little test fit. There we go. And I'll just try this. Yeah, that's gluing that's sticking absolutely fine. If that didn't stick, I mean, this is just a polystyrene cement, but if it didn't work, I would have just used super glue or something. What I always say is use the cheapest thing that works. Super glue would have been a far superior product, but it costs more than plastic cement. So use the plastic cement. But if plastic cement doesn't work, you use the super glue, which is the cheapest thing that works. Now this is a little bit hard. Sometimes parts just kind of sit in place. This one you're going to need to hold for a moment. And my gluing isn't fantastic on that, I'm afraid. Right, so the next thing we need, this is where the parts are going to get a little bit fiddly. We need the firing grips, and the firing grips are here. And be very careful because they're very small. It is possible to snap these as you cut them. So I'll just give that a quick tidy up. And quick test fit. I'm going to use my tweezers because that's going to be far easier. And I keep dropping that. And this is actually going to go in the hole in the seat base, like so. Oh, that's a beautiful fit. So we'll go with that. Yeah, that was almost as if it was made to go in there. Don't know if I've got enough glue on there, but incidentally, I said in one of my other videos, can't remember if it was one of these Millennium Falcons, but I've lost the silver bit that goes in the middle. I've just found it. It's actually fallen in. So no, it hasn't. I tell a lie. So right. So after the firing grips, we need the control mount, and the control mount is this one here. And you'll notice that I employ a different variety of methods for removing. Sometimes I'll use sprue cutters, sometimes I'll go straight in with a knife. There's no actual way that I do this, you know, there's not like there we go. It's not like there's a proper way to do it. It's whatever works for you. And I'll be honest with you, what works for me usually depends on what tools are to hand. My knife just happens to be really close, and there we go. And my sprue cutter seems to be not so close. Okay, so that's the right targeting computer goes on next, which is this one. Now, can I have a little look at how this goes? Right. There we go. So that's going to go straight up and down, with this part facing towards the person sitting in the chair. So that's going to go there. Oh no, that's not such a good fit. Ah, there it is. You've got to push it in a little bit. So I'm having a slight struggle with this glue, so I'm just going to go for plan B, which is to squeeze a little bit out onto some waste plastic and apply it that way. And let's see if I can push that in again like I did just now. There we go, that's fine. And now I'm noticing the back of this is loose. That's not abnormal, but I think it just means it's not been stuck on properly. So I'm going to reapply that. you usually find when the parts aren't sticking properly, there's not a good contact been made, or perhaps it's in the wrong place. That looks a little bit more comfortable. I think I just didn't have it. Oh no, it needs to be up further. I mean, with a little bit of contact, it will still stick. It'll just take a little bit longer to set. Okay, so the last bits, glue the pivot in front of the targeting computer. So the pivot is this piece here, this piece there. Put my finger over that so it doesn't fly off. And this wants to go on, so the larger pieces at the bottom, it's like a cone shape. Oh, this seat isn't sticking. I may have to do some additional work on that. Sorry guys. Really doesn't want to play ball. If it doesn't work, I'll have to resort to super glue. I think that is actually a good fit now. It just doesn't really want to go at the back too well. Right, so where's that small tiny part gone? Okay, that's just gone. There we are. I had some tweezers that I'd put some rubber on, and that really did help. Trouble with these tweezers is they're very, very pointy. They're very, very precise, but because they're pointy, they do have a tendency to stab you. Oops. Another good thing about the plastic cement is you do get a little bit of working time with it. So whereas super glue, it will stick hard within seconds. Polystyrene cement, you might have a minute or two. I'm really struggling with this, aren't I? There we go. That's got it in. There you go, I'm rather happy with that now. And then we've got two pedals. So these are the pedals here. And again, because they're small parts, put your finger over the top of the part as you cut it, just to stop them from flying off. And then I'm not able to get a really close cut on this. You wouldn't have done with sprue cutters anyway. So I'm just going to have to trim the little end off here. And I'm kind of doing this off camera, mainly because I can see myself slipping. And if we slip, we won't be able to put this on YouTube, because it will be a violation of YouTube rules. Okay, I'm struggling. So I was going to start this video off by saying it looks like a rather easy video this week. How wrong I would have been. But I think this is definitely the hardest part of the this week's issue, but it's only the hardest because we're dealing with very small parts. Okay, so right, so these parts have a little end on them. You're going to need to do it away the downward bit. Let me explain this. Right, so there's a little notch on the end. If you do the notch away, then that will be positioned correctly. And I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue into each of these pedals, and then we're going to place the pedal onto onto the base. So get the piece around the way that we want it. I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping a hold of these parts. Right, there we go. And that one can pop onto there, and then we'll just move it around to the position that we want. So by having the notch on the far end, it will then make the pedal go down a little bit, which will then give the sloped feeling ready for the foot. A little bit like your pedals on the car. When you're driving, you want your pedals slanted so that they're comfortable for your feet. And I've actually got this completely the wrong way around. There we go. So this is a tricky stage, I'm sorry to say, and I am actually making a bit of a mess of this. But if you make a big mess of this, I'm not making a major mess, but if you were to make a big mess, you can always go over it with some paint. And I've moved the back of this, so I'm struggling with this back of the seat, and I think that's the way it's going to be. So all I can really do is leave this overnight for it to set hard. Okay, so obviously when I do these on a video, I'll do as much test fitting as I can beforehand, so that obviously it makes me look smart, that I know what I'm doing. Two cautionary tales here. First of all, test fit. My phone has just gone mental. Sorry. Test fit these before you begin. Look at the instructions. I did struggle at first with this one, partly because I was trying to put this sticker on this bit there, and secondly because it doesn't go the full length of the of this turret. You kind of think, oh, it's not fitting, but it does. So if you lay your parts out like this, lay them so that this wibbly bit, lots of angles on, you see that it's pretty much flat on the top. And you want it to go from smallest end to largest on the end, so that the two outsides have got the smallest bit. So what we're going to do then, it doesn't matter which way round you do these, but each sticker is going to go on with the edge of the sticker at the back. What's actually going to happen is when we're finished, this is actually going to be the front. So what you'd think is the front is the back. So what we'll do is we will try to remove this backing paper. Now, what I like to try and do is stick, I can't get this sticker off. Normally I would bend a sticker to get the backing paper off, but that might damage the actual sticker. It's quite a solid, there we are. What I normally like to try and do is just fold a little bit of the backing paper. From my experience with these stickers that they give you in previous issues, they stick down very well very quickly, so you don't want to stick the whole lot down only to find out it's wrong. So we're just going to stick just the end, and then that will give us, oops, that should, once we're happy with that, there we go, we can hold that bit down, and then we can just find the end of the sticker, the backing paper, with a pair of tweezers. If we've done it correctly, there we go, we can pull it all out, and that's been lined up there then. So we'll do the same with this one. We just want to remove just a little bit and fold it back just so we've got a small amount of the sticky showing. We can then line it up. When we're happy, we push the sticky bit down, And also these stick better in the warm, so if you just hold your thumb, it kind of makes the glue a little bit stronger. So we'll pull that paper out and then we can stick that down. Just put your thumb on it and it should then hold a little bit more permanently and won't peel off in the future, we hope. So test fit these ones and this one, and I've got a feeling this one's the wrong way round. No, it is actually the correct way round. So as per the other two, we'll peel off a bit of this paper, fold it back, place it down, line it all up. Yep, I'm happy with that. So we find the backing. Remember, look, I'm holding it down on the sticky end and I'm peeling off the backing paper with tweezers, and then I'll show you that one last time. Backing paper folded back, line it up with the part that isn't sticky. When we're happy, we hold down the sticky part with a hand, we go underneath and we pull out the backing paper with our tweezers. That is going to be the absolute best way to do it. So we'll have a little look at that, and come on, I did a dry fit before, and that's what we're looking at. So the next stage then is we need to get our LED, and I'm just going to pull some of that through. There we go. I want to keep this together though. Okay, so the LED is going to go there, and we'll find a comfortable place to put it. There we go. And I'm going to test fit that. We also want to find a way that makes sure it's not, it might actually be more comfortable on this one. Right, excuse my phone, I keep forgetting to put it on Do Not Disturb. Right, this is actually going to be a struggle. So let's discover a way to do this. Right, possibly if we hold it like this, pop the LED in there. No, that's not going to work. Right, I think we're going to have some kind of balancing out. Right. So I've been trying to flatten this wire. You need to keep this wire flat, but it doesn't want to stay flat because of the rest of it. So we need to find, here we go, let's thread it through this. That might just lift that wire up a bit. There we go. Okay, this is going to be a tough job. So I think that's going to be the only way we can do it, is to actually put it together, then peel it apart and then pop the LED in. It's a bit of a risky way of doing it because it'll only work with the plastic glue, because if you use it with super glue it's going to stick too quick. And I'm only going to glue this on the tabs. You've got 5 tabs, 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. And the reason I'm only going to glue on the tabs, A, it's not going to stick it quite so hard, and B, I don't want to get any glue on the LED. So by using less glue reduces the chances. So that's stuck together. So we're just going to open that a little bit, pop the LED in there, and now I can't find it. There we go. And that's stuck together. So that's worked. So we've put the small dabs of glue on, and then we've held it with the bottom of a hand, we've opened it up, put the LED in, and then we've closed it together again, and that seems to have done the trick. So I'm happy with that. So the last stage now, oh sorry, not the last stage, We need to get this turret ring, and we're looking for a notch which is there. What we're going to do is we're going to glue this on there so that it goes onto the notch like so, and I'm going to put small dabs of glue along here. Remember never to point the glue bottle down, because gravity will force the glue to come out. We don't want a big swamp of glue all over our part. There we go. Not too much glue. In fact, I'm using too little rather than too much. So there's our notch there, there's our notch there. And talking of gravity, probably the best way to sit this drying will be like that. Let gravity do the work. Okay, in the last stage we're going to need this ring here, and we're also going to need a flanged self-tapping screw, which we do have. So let me tidy this up. Now I believe we got some flange. There we go. We've only got the one flange screw, so therefore it must be that silver one. And do you know what? I was thinking we weren't going to have any screwdrivers this week, or we weren't going to get the screwdriver out. So how wrong I was. There we go. Just make sure the screwdriver works, which it does not. R2-D2 and the Millennium Falcon are not compatible. Okay, so it turns out I made a slight boo-boo. In the previous stage where we assembled this, I should actually have fitted this. So we'll do that now when we get the chance. And all I'm going to do is take a piece of glue, small amount of glue. Now this is shaped, so it'll only go in one way, and you'll see that it won't rotate. So that's in solid. So when we come back to this piece, what we need to do is pop this into there, so that the you see that the hole covers. There's a hole in the bottom of the base, and then that base goes into the bottom. And then what we need to do is take our screw. I think this is supposed to be a rotating base, but I've got to be honest with you, I can't see how it's going to rotate. However, I haven't tried it yet, and I'm really struggling with this screwdriver all of a sudden. So this is a self-tapping screw. If we can just get it to go in. Tell you what, let's go back to Old Faithful, shall we? It's never let me down yet, so it's probably not going to let me down now. So I need to hold this base down firmly, and that's going in lovely. To be honest with you, even if this is a rotating, it actually does rotate. I'm still struggling with this back, you know. So it does rotate a little bit, but I don't think the opportunity is going to be there to rotate it, is it? So I might just screw that in a little bit harder. I'm just a little bit oh god, now it's gone in at an angle. Okay, I've not actually let that glue set hard enough. So, and the whole lot's coming apart. So there you go. This is what happens when you don't let the glue set enough. But other than that, that is the part complete. So what I need to do now is leave this overnight, and then that will be the stage complete. So what I would say is with each stage, leave it for a good length of time, because as you can see, I'm trying to pull it all apart, and it's just, you know. So okay, that's it then. So I will see you next week.